दुनिया भर समेत पाकिस्तान में मासूम बच्चियों और बच्चों के साथ जिनसी ज़्यादती और तशद्दुद के वाक़यात मंजर आम पर आ रहे हैं, जबकि लातादाद केसेस तो मीडिया और पुलिस तक पहुँचते ही नहीं हैं। सिर्फ गुज़िश्ता एक साल की अगर हम बात करें तो दुनिया भर में सिर्फ 1 बिलियन बच्चे तशद्दुद का शिकार हुए हैं, जो कि दुनिया में बच्चों की तादाद का निस्फ है।
बच्चों पर तशद्दुद को रोकने के खिलाफ और इनके खिलाफ जो आवाज़ उठ रही है, इसके लिए साबिक क्रिकेटर वसीम अकरम की अहलिया शनेरा अकरम ने एक मुहिम शुरू की है, मैन पॉलिश्ड। अब ये मुहिम क्या है, इसके मकासद क्या हैं पॉलिश्ड मैन मुहिम के, और इस मुहिम के हवाले से आगे काम किस तरह से किया जा सकेगा, इन तमाम मामलों पर बात करेंगे। हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं शनेरा अकरम और जॉर्ज फुल्टन। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर बीइंग विद अस। सबसे पहले हम जॉर्ज फुल्टन से जानना चाहेंगे कि ये तशद्दुद के वाक़यात तो बढ़ रहे हैं, पिछले काफ़ी अरसे से मीडिया पर भी रिपोर्ट हो रहे हैं। कब आपको ये लगा कि आप इसको कैंपेन की सूरत में आगे चलाना चाहिए?
जॉर्ज, आपको आवाज आ रही है?
Sorry, yes. Sorry.
Hi, George. Thank you for joining us. First of all, we wanted to know that when was the point that you thought that now you have to join this campaign?
Well, Sheneira approached me regarding this campaign, and it's something that I think is much needed, and a campaign that is long overdue, especially Pakistan mein hai, kyunki we have सबसे बड़ा problem बच्चों के बारे में पाकिस्तान में है, क्योंकि we officially only have 10 cases a day of violence against children in Pakistan. लेकिन in reality, it is much worse. There is a huge problem with violence against children, as well as sexual assault against children in Pakistan. And we wanted, and when Sheneira approached me to join her with this campaign, I thought it was a wonderful idea, and I was happy to add my support to it.
George, people belonging to different age groups, be they are men or women, if they are suppressed, they can afford going out and speaking up against the violence. However, children can't do this. They can't step out on roads, and they can't take attention of the authorities. How far do you think this campaign would help in bringing these issues into limelight, and how far do you think practical measures should be taken to eradicate this problem?
Well, I think the very fact that we're talking about it, you know? The very fact is that it's being talked about is the first stage. You know, we need to break the silence to end the violence. So let's, and you know, Hamara Mulk mein, we have a Torah tendency of not talking about painful or shameful issues. And this is, and the very fact that, you know, it is predominantly men who perpetrate the violence against children. It is predominantly men who are perpetrators of sexual assaults against children. And that is why we wanted men, and very masculine men like Wasim Akram and all these you know, great stars and movie stars and Humayun, Saeed and people to talk about it, because it is up to them to raise this issue, and that will filter down into society. In terms of what practical steps are, is you as an adult, you need to keep an eye out on your children.
Exactly.
See the signs of whether have they gone quiet? Are they not the same anymore?
Yes,
have they changed their
and keep a very sharp eye and observe their behaviors. Stay with us, George. Stay with us. Let me go towards Sheneira. Sheneira has also joined us. Thank you, Sheneira, for joining us on this show. Walaikum salam, Sheneira. How are you?
Good. How is everyone? Good. Thank you.
Everybody is very good, and everybody is glad that you've picked this serious issue. I would want to ask you first that when was the point that you decided you have to come up with this campaign, and where did this idea come from, the polished man?
This is an incredible campaign that's been run in Australia for the last 4 years, and actually, you know, started also internationally around the world. And when this year, the last 2 years has been an incredible amount of cases that have come out, you know, of these children who are being abused and murdered. And we are all watching this with our eyes crying. The whole country's crying for these children. Justice for Zainab, and it was just terrible. So I thought this was a great campaign. It fitted into our society and our culture. A lot of people don't think that. But I think it does, because what George says is it gets men out of their comfort zone.
Exactly.
You know, it gets every man standing up and empowers men, and it gets a talking point. And like George said, you know, if we break the silence, we can end the violence.
If you get people talking, Sheneira, just as you said that people will start talking, people will start asking the men that why do you have one colored nail on your finger, on your hand? So people will start talking, and this will create waves, you know. But why do you? Yeah.
It does in the office and the school and at home, but the nail is just merely a symbol. When you see all those powerful celebrities and sports stars and personalities and influencers standing up together, that is a very powerful statement. And what that is saying to the whole country is we've had enough. We are not tolerating this anymore. You all think you're big man by hitting a kid. You're not a big tough man.
You're talking about men. I was watching all these pictures of different men, powerful men. You know, people look up to these men. There are actors, there are cricketers who have joined your campaign. But what I would like to know that do you feel that the impact of these people, all these strong people, probably this is the only campaign, you know, supported by so many big celebrities at the same time. Do you think this would be as impactful as you and I feel it should be?
I think it should, and I think this campaign's going to run through October and every October for you know, the coming years, and it will build its momentum. So people next year will know that this is coming up. We will do campaigns, and we will run through you know, campaigns through schools when they open, and offices. We will get a lot more people joining, especially next year. And hopefully some authorities and law will be on our side by then as well. So it's about talking about it. And so you're talking about it, I'm talking about it, all the celebrities are talking about it, then everyone is on social media talking about it, and this is our aim, to get people talking about it in their homes.
Right, you're talking about breaking the silence to eradicate violence. It's really commendable effort and step. Since we are talking about it, and you're saying that influential people who are popular among masses, whom people listen to, who have a say or word among masses, which are the prominent names who have joined you in this campaign, and which are the prominent names with whose collaboration you'll broaden this campaign into academic institutions or workplaces?
Yes. And inshallah, like, men will see their heroes on television, on social media, standing up for the children, and that will make a very big impression on them. Inshallah, that hopefully we can definitely get through to a lot of people's mindsets through a campaign such as this.
Thank you. बहुत शुक्रिया जॉर्ज फुलटन. नाज़रीन हमारे साथ थे. Sheneira Akram is still with us. Sheneira, I would want to ask you, what activities are you planning to make awareness, to raise awareness about child abuse and violence against children? What are the activities that you're planning during this campaign?
This campaign has come this October. We run the campaign right through October. It's called Polish Man, and it's internationally through October every year. With this building so much momentum, we then are breaking open the silence for families and schools to talk about subjects such as this. So especially this week, everyone will be talking in their offices and at schools and at home, and that's what we aim from a campaign such as this. Next year we have a lot planned, especially once we build so much momentum.
Right, and next year also it is going to be in October, right?
Yes, Gigi. Hopefully with a lot stronger, it'll gain a lot of momentum. Like I said, we'll get Pakistanis also from overseas come together and band with us, and you know, to hear our cries and to hear the cries of the children.
Okay,
they see what we see.
It's really good. This campaign should gain momentum, and it's really an issue worth addressing to. And definitely intellectual and educated or aware people definitely would join hands with you. What I want to ask is, there are a lot of organizations, both international and local, which are working for the protection of women, children's rights, and they are working to combat these actions against children. However, do you think those organizations are not successful in bringing awareness on this specific issue, and how would your campaign would be different than those?
I think there's so many different aspects to this, especially in a country such like Pakistan. You have to remember, 8 years ago when I came to Pakistan, we couldn't talk about things like child sex abuse and child abuse and child violence. It was quite taboo. It wasn't like a conversation that we would normally have. Now, all these people, especially when celebrities and personalities, sporting stars, come together in a campaign like this, they really, really make an impact. In the other tiers that are working, the authorities and schools and campaigns that are working actually on ground level, there is a lot that they are doing. But until this country puts more people in employment and more children are being educated and at school, it's a lot easier to be able to talk about subjects and also fix problems such as the huge amount of child abuse that is happening in Pakistan.
Right. So, Sheneira, one aspect to this problem is, and which is a very dark aspect, is that parents don't feel comfortable, lodging FIRs or reports of such cases regarding their children. That is because of the insensitivity of authorities, the people who do not know, they are dealing with such cases, but they do not know how to deal with them, how to deal with children, how to deal with their parents. So, what are you going to do about them?
And that is really concerning also, especially in this country. You hear of such things and then they can't register FIRs. It is really, really sad. But again, the more we talk about it, the more we break open the sun, the more parents listen to their children. Remember, parents have one job, and that is to look after and protect their child from predators. It is your job to make sure that this doesn't happen. It is your job to know where your child is and who is hurting your child. So if you're not listening to your child, then your child is in danger. So it is our job to get through to parents and say, listen to them, because it needs to stop. Because if this happens to them now, they will carry this right through their life.
Okay, Sheneira, the children who face or who become a victim of this child abuse, unfortunately, they grow up with a suppressed psychological personality. In this campaign,
because they cannot talk to someone.
Obviously, they cannot talk to someone. They have faced too much violence in front of them. They became a victim to that violence. Do you plan to propose to the academic institutions to effectively introduce child psychological courses or to take on board child psychologists in order to provide effective counseling to those children?
It is happening, and slowly but surely. I mean, a lot of people think that social media doesn't work for Pakistan. That this day and age, 2020, social media is bad. It is not. It gives people a voice. It gives access to information. Children can actually go online and research about what's happening, know that it is wrong. They can talk to people online. They can talk to people in private online also. I think that's all working for us, especially the campaigns that are coming out saying it's okay to talk about it, it's okay. It's educating parents, it's educating families, and it's educating children. In terms of children coming out and speaking with their parents, remember, this is slowly but surely it's happening. So we are getting there, and this is a good thing. The country's moving in the right direction. We're talking about it now on international television. How amazing is that? 5-6 years ago, we were not talking about it. We were talking about wedding dresses and makeup and all sorts of things. Now we are talking about the important subject to save our children's lives, and that is definitely something in itself.
That is definitely something in itself, and the credit that we are talking about it today goes to you, Sheneira, because you have initiated this polished man, and which was very necessary. We have heard such campaigns being run by other celebrities also, and everybody who has put their part, who has done something for these kids, for these children. Yes,
Thank
Sheneira.
you so much. The credit really does go to the band of celebrities that are rallying together. They were all on this straight away, and they were 100% in it with all their hearts, because they know this is something they need to do. They need to stand up their fathers, their brothers, their uncles, and they are men of our country.
But since you are the icebreaker, the credit, major share of the credit goes to you, and we hope and pray this campaign blossom and get broadened and get everyone's attention also.
Thank you, Sheneira. Bahut shukriya.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bahut shukriya.
Thank you, Sheneira. Thank you.